Hi class, this is Emily and I am going to talk to you a little bit about the course syllabus and what you need to know for writing 39A online. So these are the things that you can see when you click on syllabus on Canvas over here. As you'll see, it says syllabus, and you'll be able to then really go through and look at the syllabus and scroll through and see what you need to find out and read this carefully. So I'm going to go over a few of the highlights of things that I want you to think about. First off, our required text. The main text that we will be looking at is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. You need to go ahead and procure a copy of this from a bookstore. Most major bookstores should have that, or even online like Amazon, you can find them there. The next thing that you'll need is the Anteater's Guide to Writing and Rhetoric, and we will actually have links of all of that, but if you want a hard copy of that, you can also find it at the UCI bookstore. Our third text is Connect Composition, and that is an online text, and there will be more information about how to get this in the modules, and we'll have something separately to talk you through how to sign up for Connect Composition. All our other texts will be available for free via Canvas. The main text online tools that you'll need will be Canvas and Turnitin.com. I will show you later how to enroll in Turnitin.com. Basically, let me give you kind of an overview, and you can look at here's what writing 39A is, but it's preparing you for the skills for academic writing, and so we are making sure that you are ready to really go forward with your writing skills in university. Our main theme is what is voice. So we'll be using The Great Gatsby to really look at what is voice, what does it mean, how do you find your own voice, what is it when somebody else speaks for you versus you speaking for yourself. So you'll really want to consider this, and throughout the entire quarter your viewpoints on voice might change, and you want to notice that and see how your reflection on voice changes from maybe your viewpoint coming in versus your viewpoint coming out. As we continue through these ideas of voice, we will have several different assignments, but our main assignment and the main thing that you're graded on is the writing portfolio. And the writing portfolio is 100% of your grade. And basically what this is a collection of all your work throughout the quarter. And we don't think it's fair to grade you as you're still learning the skills of writing throughout the quarter, but it's actually better to grade you at the end of the quarter once you've learned all these skills, can adapt these skills, revise them, and really use them and show them to the best of your ability at the end of the quarter. So that's what a writing portfolio does. It will collect all of your work. And so from this moment, you're going to save all of the writing that you do. We'll collect it in an e-portfolio that I will show you later how to build and kind of use in the class. And you will work sort of up at your own pace up to a point. I will still have due dates. You will still need to turn things in at a particular time, and that's so that you can continue to kind of pace yourself as well as get feedback from me and the other students. So you will see that there's a schedule of reading and writing, and it needs to be done, but you can always go back and revise that writing later to make it better and strengthen it once you get that feedback from me and from your classmates. So think about it as a way to test your skills, try them out, sometimes possibly fail, and then get better at them, because this should be a safe place for you to really kind of try your writing and see what is the best in terms of your own skills, techniques, and writing process, because that's what we're really trying to build here in this class, as well as then starting to answer that question about what is voice. So in order to help kind of build those skills, there are three main tasks that I have you do for this class, and you'll see that I kind of highlight them a little bit below. The first is imitation exercises, and this will be what the first half of the class is really based on. We will look at 5 different ways to imitate text that we're looking at. We'll take The Great Gatsby and we'll imitate it. We'll look at some nonfiction texts and imitate those. We'll also look at some academic texts and imitate those as well. So we will look at these skills that I want you to kind of build and learn about: introduction, narration, exploration, dialogue, and persuasion. We will critically read texts and see how they're using the techniques to perform these tasks, and then you will be tasked to do that in your own writing. So there'll be an individual task each week for you to look at and to write. There isn't a required length, but they need to be taken seriously because you will then use them later to develop further papers. So again, I talk a little bit about the feedback, and you need to make sure that you have them turned in time to get my feedback. If you do not, you will not receive feedback from me. And as you might guess, feedback is fairly crucial to doing well in this course. So after the imitation exercises, what will happen is we will look at those, you will review them with me, and we will come to a consensus and talk about what your essay should be for the next essay, and that's called the Teacher's Choice Essay. And so with this Teacher's Choice Essay, I am going to kind of pick an imitation exercise that you've used and help you then develop it into a full-length draft of maybe it's a work of fiction, maybe it's an academic essay, maybe it's a nonfiction article. We'll kind of talk about that and come up with a particular prompt for you. I'm going to focus on the skills that I think you still need to work on as a student, and so they will be very tailored to each individual student of what you need to do and where you need to go. We will then work on that and that feedback, and you will pre-write, draft, revise, and take your imitation exercise and fully develop it so that you have a long, full-length paper. After you have a chance to do that and practice it with a little bit more guidance from me, I'm going to then let you take a little more responsibility on, and that will be in the last essay, which is really a student's choice essay, or the third essay here. And that then goes back and answers this question of what is voice. And so what you want to really think about is, how do I answer that question, and how do I either build on some other imitation exercise that I've used, or how do I go about expanding an idea from the teacher's choice, or maybe through all of this I've come up with a different idea that I want to use to highlight all the skills that I've learned from the imitation exercises from the teacher's choice essay, and really show that I understand all of these writing skills and can perform a really well done piece, writing piece, whether it be, again, fiction, nonfiction, academic essay, and then move forward with it. So we'll work on that and then develop it, but it will be more of a testing ground for you. You'll see that there's a couple of other areas. Obviously, participation is very important, and peer review, because we'll work on feedback, and you'll see there's a lot of areas for feedback throughout the course, as well as discussions. You will be asked to critically read and respond to discussions as well, so you need to make sure that you're participating there. As you can guess, participation is really important for this entire class. You'll then see that there's a rubric, and this rubric then kind of tells you what I'm looking for in a final portfolio. You'll see that they're based off of some of the quotes from F. Scott Fitzgerald. I won't read through those, but you can read through those individually and kind of look through what I'm looking for in terms of grading. You can then see the course policies. Obviously, you need to have access to a computer and the internet. You have to receive a grade of a C or better in order to pass this course. If you're repeating Writing 39A, you may not submit any papers that you've submitted in the past. Assignments turned in late may be given a grade of an F, so that can possibly change a little bit, but you can always turn in something. You failure to hand in anything is grounds for failure in the course, and failure to upload your assignments to turn it in is also failure for the course. You're also required to conference with me 3 times, all right, during office hours. You can decide when, but you do need to fulfill this requirement. It's very important that you get feedback from me and find out times that you can come and talk to me as well. The fails repeats also kind of addresses some of the same things we talked about here. The plagiarism basically is, you can read the plagiarism policy, but you cannot copy work or submit work that is somebody else's. So violations of that have severe consequences, and we will talk about those if that happens. But you need to make sure that you're doing your own work and not taking ideas from somebody else. If you have questions about how to cite or quote, you need to always come to me and talk to me about those so we can clarify them before anything is due. Obviously, with an online course, it has some more demands, and you have to be careful of respecting your instructor's time. So look at these guidelines as to what you need to do to make sure that you have focused questions and are ready to interact with your instructor as well. And then here are the main things that I want you to really think about as to how to do well in Writing 39A. So 1, reading and writing take time and practice. You really need to make sure you have the time to commit to this course. So you have to be involved in reading and writing and doing all of this. And you cannot put assignments off until the last minute. So think about this. You want to think about spending 2 to 3 hours outside of class time, and class time is a little bit loose in terms of an online class, but this means about 9 to 12 hours on this class every week. You really want to be curious about the text you read. If you don't think that you're curious about This Name of What is Voice or The Great Gatsby, maybe this isn't really the class to you, but you need to try to develop a sense of curiosity and be interested in kind of interacting with this question about what is voice throughout the quarter. And then get help when you need it. Often you should attend online office hours with me, find help at the UCIA Writing Center, and they also offer online help on their website. So there's many places to get help, and if you feel that you need more help, you can always talk to me about how to get that extra help that you might need. If you have questions about the syllabus, make sure that you post them here on this video or put them in Piazza so they can be answered.